Hello and welcome to the Random Wrestling Review and our local to global series here as we enter the Golden Triangle Tournament. You'll remember from our last episode, I did start to book this and then thought to myself, maybe I should stop here because I actually think I need to think this through. Well, I did think it through, and the three matches that I booked at the end of the last episode are all going for a Burton because we don't need them. We do not want these matches. Yeah, and when I sat down to actually think about how the tournament would play out and where we were going next, it just didn't make sense to do the matches that I had written down. So we're going to, yeah, we're gonna change things up. And the first thing I'm going to do is make it so this is the 141, right? Yeah. So we're going to make this. Can I change this to? Is there a way to? There should be a way to change this to like part of the short list that always come up. Just because I'm going to use a load of them, right? So it would just make a lot of sense to make this a default match type. But I just don't think. Hang on, default matches, perfect. No, don't want that. I want one versus one versus one. It'll just make it easier for me to book this show in the future. So yeah, very aware we're going straight into it today, but I'm kind of eager for us to get to the point where we might be able to do all of the Triangle Tournament in one episode. That's what I'd like to try and do. I've planned the entire kind of 2 week period out, so we'll see. But yeah, let's hope we do that. So the opening match of the tournament will see C.W. Anderson, Ace Steel, and Rex King in a bout. That'll be the first round match. And for those of you, sorry, who might not have remembered that the Triangle Tournament is effectively 2 rounds of it's an 18-man tournament where you have the first 2 rounds are all triple threat matches, and then the final is a singles match. So effectively, got 6 first-round matches with the 6 winners going through to 2 semi-finals, and then the 2 winners of the semi-finals go into the final on night 2. So this is the opener of the tournament, and it's going to be a win for Rex King. I think we'll make C.W. Anderson the loser. Painted win and a pinfall finish is how we're going to go with this. We'll make it a work the crowd match as well. So that's the opening match of the tournament. The second match in the tournament is going to be Emo, Heath Hart, and Chris Adams. So another match with 2 heels and 1 babyface. And this one is going to be won by Chris Adams. We won't make this a particularly long match because I don't think it will make it. He's going to pin Keith Hart. And again, open match. And we'll go for a pinfall finish in that one as well. So, I mean, this is why I'm keeping it just to 9 minutes because, you know, Chris Adams just can't keep it up for very long. Which beggars belief why I'm putting him through to the semi-final, but that's what's happening in that one. Then we're going to have a match, which actually let's book the match first. We're going to have a match which is going to see Dave Batista, the newly heel Shawn Stasiak, and CM Punk. So this is a pretty big match, and I would have put this in the main event if it wasn't for the way I'm going to try and figure out how to do this. I don't even know if it's possible to do this with a triple threat match. I want CM Punk to win, and I want both Batista and Shawn Stasiak to lose in the sense that they have a double DQ or a double count out or something like that. This might not work. This might go hideously wrong in terms of what the road agent might take from this. But what I'm trying to say is that I want both Batista and Stasiak to lose. So what's going to happen here? They're basically going to forfeit the match because what's going to happen is the bell's going to ring. They're going to go after one another, Batista and Stasiak straight away, and then the match is they're going to fight off into the crowd and away from the ring, and eventually the referee's just going to throw it out, and CM Punk's going to be declared the winner. So that's why I've not put it in the main event because I don't actually think that it's worth that. But the reason they're going to start brawling is that before the match, Dave Batista is going to properly have a go, basically, at Shawn Stasiak. Dave Batista it asks Stasiak what happened to him, how he could attack, and asks how he could attack, how he could be such a sore loser, basically. After his match, obviously, with Dan Severn, in the main event of the previous show, and that's going to cause Stasiak to go straight after Batista, and the two of them fight off into the crowd. So obviously, Batista and Stasiak, having previously been friends, Batista's asking Stasiak what the hell happened. So I'll go into a bit more detail of that when we do the show. Then the next match is going to be obviously another three-way match, and it is going to see Teddy Hart, Charlie Haas, and James Storm in a first round contest. It's going to go a little bit longer, I think. Maybe 13 minutes for this one. Charlie Haas is going to be the winner. The loser is going to be Teddy Hart, and it's going to be a pinfall finish. I think we might go with storytelling on this one as well. And again, I'll tell you what the exact finish is as we go through the event. Then we've got the penultimate match of the show is going to be Barry Buchanan, Mark Henry, and Billy Kidman. And the winner of this one is going to be Barry Buchanan. In fact, I might not add the open match thingy. I might just have Mark Henry dominate this one. Let's have a look at the booking analysis. Oh, we're expected to advance one storyline and none are being advanced. Well, I need to figure out. I have to look at the stories just to make sure that we're good with this. The main event is going to be Dan Severn, Buddy Wayne, and ECMO for the final spot in the semi-final, and we'll make this a victory. Actually, I'll make it. The problem with Dan Severn is he really isn't. He's not got the stamina, but we're going to have Dan Severn win. He's going to pin. He's going to have. Yeah, he's going to pin ECMO in this one to finish the show. Yes, we're going to go. It's not a title match; it's for a tournament, so that's why those three are not fighting for the title. So yeah, we've got an issue here in that none of our storylines are being advanced. Let's just check in terms of what we've got. So Buddy Wayne and CM Punk are still in the story. When was that last advance? That was last advanced a couple of shows ago. We might want to think about something with these two. Yeah, I don't know what though, because I don't want this story to be over. So I may have a little think. What can I do there? What can I do for CM Punk and what can I do for CM Punk and Buddy Wayne? Because as I said, their feud is not over. But this because CM Punk would just be left in the ring, right? So he just picks up and he's gonna he's just gonna brag about it. I think we'll have Punk brags that he's made it through the first round easily. Taunts Buddy Wayne to follow that. No, actually, you know what? I think the last time we saw, let's just book that 7 for a minute. But the last time we saw CM Punk was at Fighting Spirit, right, where he lost by stoppage to Buddy Wayne, and then he wasn't at the next show. So actually, what we'll do is we'll change this so that Punk says he's back. That Buddy Wayne took advantage in their last match, like the coward he is. So a bit more pertinent to what's happened in the past. He's just going to be like, yeah, like, you know, I won this match. That's great. I'm back. I'm going to win this tournament. But the only reason I was away was because Buddy Wayne decided to take advantage of an injury that I had. And that's the only reason he was able to beat me back at the Fighting Spirit show. So that means that we've now got a story. And actually, the show is fine. We're not going to be penalized as well for the percentage of angles we've got. But I do want to look at the other stories just to make sure that we're happy that they're not being advanced here. So fine margins was the last time that was updated. Fine margins was the last time that was updated. This one was also updated at fine margins. And the emergence of the rebellion was last updated at fighting spirit. This might be a bit more of an issue because I don't really have. There's not really an opponent for these guys at the moment, not a specific one. So Ace Steele's in a feud with is in a match with C.W. Anderson. Barry Buchanan is in a feud with in a match with Mark Henry and Billy Kidman. I wonder if I can add C.W. Anderson possibly to this one. Tempted. You know what? I might just end this. The rebellion has emerged, right? It doesn't feel like we need anything more from these guys. Like we've done that story, I think. Okay, so I'm happy with that. That is the show for night one of this tournament. I'll just check that again. I clicked the button and then didn't look at what was on the screen. Typical. Okay, I think we're good to go for this one. So let's do it. Night one, day one, I guess, of the RWR Golden Triangle Tournament. Actually, before I do that, let's just check we've got that title in place. We do. Fine. Here goes then. So in front of 112 people, the biggest paying audience in company history for night one of this Golden Triangle tournament. And we get off to a very strong start with a segment rating of 42 between C.W. Anderson, Ace Steel, and Rex King. The winner here is Rex King when he pins C.W. Anderson illegally using the ropes for leverage. And Rex King is the first man to advance to the semi-final of the Triangle tournament. He had the best in-ring performance as well, although Ace Steel was pretty good with a 36, and C.W. Anderson is also improving regularly at the moment, and he's up to 34, but a really good start to this show. Then the second match in the tournament, another really good match, segment rating of 40 here. Chemo, a big part of that because of the in-ring performance of 47. Chris Adams was a 34. He thought it was off his game. Adams was tiring, and they still did a segment rating of 40, which just, I think, kind of accentuates just how good Chemo is and has been here. Chris Adams pins Keith Hart with a super kick and progresses to the semi-final as well. Then, before the next match, Dave Batista spoke to Shawn Stasiak. He grabbed the microphone and said to Shawn Stasiak, like, I don't know what's happened to you. You were a good man, but I don't know what happened last month. You attacked Dan Severn. If I'd have been able to, i.e. if I hadn't been attacked by Mark Henry earlier in the show, I would have come down and stopped you from laying down that beating on Dan Severn. You should look in the mirror and be ashamed of yourself for being such a poor loser. Stasiak is angry about this. Segment rating of 38 got the crowd hotter. Batista struggled when going off script, which is a shame. But Shawn Stasiak gets angry about this, and then as soon as the bell rings, he goes straight after Batista. And yes, you can see that the game has not coped with my booking, my booking notes here about this one. So basically, CM Punk is listed as having beaten Batista here with a Pepsi plunge. The truth is that both Batista and Shawn Stasiak both got basically forfeited the match, got counted out, whatever you want to call it, because they went into a brawl with one another and fought each other out of the ring and away from the ring, and the referee decided to leave them to it and have them forfeit. So a segment rating of 45, a really great match. Punk with an in-ring performance of 44. Stasiak, who'd been one of the most consistent performers in the company until recently, is maybe not keeping up with everyone else in terms of their progression, because Batista got a 41 here as well. But anyway, really good match again. Then after the match, CM Punk grabs a microphone and says that he's back. He says that Buddy Wayne took advantage in their last match, like the coward he is, of an injury that he was carrying, and that was the only reason why Buddy Wayne beat him. But he says, we'll see how far Buddy Wayne gets in this tournament as compares to me. I'm going all the way, and I'm going to win this Triangle tournament. Segment rating of 43, and that keeps CM Punk and Buddy Wayne's story going on for another show. Then the next match, Teddy Hart versus Charlie Haas versus James Storm, and Charlie Haas wins this one in 12 minutes and 40 seconds. So effectively, the end of this match is that Storm and Haas are battling each other in the ring. They hit a double clothesline, which results in Charlie Haas landing on top of Storm. Teddy Hart then goes to the top rope, goes for a shooting star press. Charlie Haas has the time to move, but Storm doesn't, and he gets hit with it. Then Charlie Haas hits the hostility on Teddy Hart and pins Teddy Hart to progress. A segment rating of 44, so another really, really good match. All the matches have been excellent. Teddy Hart had an in-ring performance of 24. That's fine for him where he is in terms of his current, his current sort of training and his current position in the company. Meanwhile, Charlie Haas and James Storm are 44 each. Really good performances from both. Two more matches in the tournament to go. The first of them is Barry Buchanan versus Mark Henry versus Billy Kidman. The first rating to dip significantly, although I still would say not a terrible rating of 32. Barry Buchanan wins the match in 9:35 when he pins Billy Kidman with an axe kick. And effectively what happens here is Henry splashes Kidman from the top rope. Then Buchanan hits the axe kick and pins Kidman. So again, don't worry about what it says on screen. That's the actual finish. Effectively, Henry splashes Kidman. Barry Buchanan hits Henry with the axe kick and then pins Billy Kidman. And a segment rating of 32. Buchanan was the best performer in the match at 37. Billy Kidman just a 30. And Mark Henry at 28. But I would say that for both Kidman, Henry, and even for Buchanan, actually, amongst their best performances for the company thus far. And so it's on to the main event. Not probably the fourth or fifth best match of the night. Segment rating of 39. Dan Severn gets the victory in 9:59 when he pins ECMO. He had an in-ring performance of 36. Buddy Wayne a 38. ECMO a 28. And ECMO has a gimmick that's getting stale. To be honest, I probably would have been better served to have switched Chemo and ECMO in terms of the matches they were in. And I did actually consider it. And then I just thought, oh no, don't worry, it'll be fine. Buddy Wayne wasn't bad. Dan Severn wasn't bad. But together they just didn't quite build a match that was anywhere near as good as some of the stuff we saw earlier in the night, which was really, really good. But anyway, we've got our 6 participants who are through to the semi-final. They are CM Punk, Rex King, Dan Severn, Charlie Haas, Chris Adams, and Barry Buchanan. That's the end of the event. An overall rating though of 41. So despite those last 2 matches not really doing it, everything else before that was so good. I mean, a 45 rated match here, 44 rated match here, some of the best matches in company history. I'm going to make a speech, first of all, praising Dave Bautista because I thought actually his was probably the best he's put on to this point. Charlie Haas as well, really, really good. And I think we'll go with CM Punk as well. No, let's go with James Storm. I think James Storm deserves it a little bit more this time around. But compliments all around because it was a really good show. Really happy with night 1 of the Golden Triangle Tournament. A really decent show. This is interesting. In major news, we have it on good authority that WWC officials are in the process of putting together a lucrative offer to try and bring Bret Hart onto their roster. So a bidding war going on now between WWF and WWC. WWC have been really recruiting well, and this could be a real difference maker for them. We are up to 16 size now in Northwest. We're so close to achieving the tiny size for the first time in the save. I know there are ways in which I could have made that more likely over time by having cheaper ticket prices, etc. Something I'd never considered before. I'm not a strategic game player. I'm someone who just plays this game very, very much on look and feel. But still, it's coming up to a really good point for us. Let's move on to the second show in the Golden Triangle Tournament. Before I do that, I will just check that everybody's available. They are. And we move on to our next show. And this just gives me a little bit of a chance to thank you for watching today and to encourage you to give this a like if you have been enjoying it, and to subscribe if you've not already done. It's been really interesting. I am recording this a very long way in advance of when this episode comes out. I think maybe as much as 7 or 8 weeks in advance. And so I've been seeing some of the numbers we've been getting at the time I'm recording this for the episodes that have been released, and it's been really odd. Like there've been a few kind of quiet patches where the episodes have been watched by very few people, but we've actually been getting more people coming on board as the series has gone on as well, which I'm a bit surprised by. So that's been really, really great to see. Hopefully, people are kind of finding the series, watching a few episodes, and then going, actually, I want to see what happened right from the beginning, and going back to the very start and watching all of the episodes. But nevertheless, if you've just come in and you're joining us today, which I would be surprised about, but you never know, if you are, great to have you on board. I hope you continue to watch. And as I said, give us a subscribe to continue to watch along with this series. A series that I intend to go for a very, very long time yet. We're now in March of 2000. I don't know what the limit to the in-game timeline will be for this show. I know for a fact that I want to at least do 100 episodes of this series. So that should give you some confidence that there's a long, long way to go yet. And this will be in our lives. This save will be in our lives for a very long time. But you will see. We'll see. We might, if we can go further than that, we will. I think if I keep my interest is absolutely not dimming in this series whatsoever. This universe that I've created is very interesting to me, and I am absolutely committed to continue to explore what's going to happen within it. Let's just have a look at what happened at the last WWC show, because they're doing so well. It felt like a good. Johnny B. Bad defeated Dean Malenko for the WWC Universal Heavyweight title. Jeff Jarrett defeated Alex Wright in a cage match. Yeah, just both really good matches. A 72 match down here as well, which included Kurt Angle. So that's another reason why they're doing really well. Rocky Maivia is starting to pick up. He's the WWC Puerto Rico heavyweight title. Of course, we had Rocky Maivia on our roster very briefly. Dan Severn has relocated to the Northwest, so he's decided to come and move near his work, and his primary work being here. So that's really cool. Cool. Right. Well, we're going to move into the second night of this triangle tournament. We'll book it, and then we'll see if we've got time to bring you the show as well. Could be that I go a little bit longer on this episode just to fit this in. We will see how we feel after we've booked the show. So first of all, the first semi-final in this tournament will be Rex King, Charlie Haas, and Barry Buchanan. We're going to have this one go 13 minutes. We're going to work the crowd, and the winner is going to be Charlie Haas. He is going to pin Rex King, and he will progress to the final of the tournament. It's a big, victory for Charlie Haas for him to get this far in the tournament. We're also going to book the second semi-final, which is CM Punk, Dan Severn, and Barry Buchanan. And the winner of this one is going to be CM Punk. Now, this is two heels and a baby face. I think I'm going to have him pin Chris Adams. Not Chris Adams. Right, I've picked the wrong person. I did wonder when I said Barry Buchanan. I was like, I've already done him once. It's not Barry Buchanan. It's Chris Adams, of course. Yeah, Barry Buchanan's in the opener, right? I booked him in the opener, yeah. So, yeah, Chris Adams is going to be the loser. No, he's going to be the loser of this one. But I think I'll do a kind of flash pinfall finish there. I'm a little bit I'm a little bit down on having Punk or any heel pin another heel or any babyface pin another babyface. I don't know why. I just am. No, I tell you what, we'll bring this down to 9 minutes to make it possible. You know what? Chris Adams can't cope with any length of match, so I think we'll just accept 9 minutes and move on there. So it'll be Charlie Haas versus CM Punk in the final. Next up, we're gonna have James Storm come out and challenge and call out Teddy Hart, who he claims cost him the match. Cost him his first round match. We're not going to have this particularly long. Let's make it 3 minutes. We'll have a woman as well on screen. Teddy Hart's going to come out for the match to face James Storm. And this one's going to go 8 minutes. James Storm's going to dominate, but what's going to happen is that he is going to win when Bruce Hart comes out and distracts James Storm. So we're going to actually make this storytelling as well. So the sort of the idea here is going to be that James Storm basically within a few minutes, having dominated the match, could beat Teddy Hart, but he keeps lifting him up rather than pinning him. He keeps lifting Teddy Hart's shoulders off the mat in order to kind of punish him more. And this is eventually going to bring out Bruce Hart, who's then going to kind of argue with James Storm and tell James Storm just to pin Teddy Hart, his nephew. Storm continues the punishment. They continue to argue, and eventually Teddy Hart manages to creep up from behind, roll James Storm up, and get a massive victory for Teddy Hart. I think his first ever singles victory that will be. We then got a tag team match, which will see Buddy Wayne and Billy Kidman back together again against ECMO and Chemo. Former tag team champions, of course, ECMO and Chemo. But they are very much on the downward spiral for me, and I'm going to give this one to Buddy Wayne. He's going to pin ECMO. So a big victory for them too as well, because they haven't had many big tag team victories as a mentor and mentee tag team. We're also going to have a one-on-one match between Keith Hart and Ace Steel, which is kind of another continuing feud in a way, as Ace Steel's kind of disdain for the Hart family. Shouldn't go too long though, because Keith Hart is not really capable of much, and Ace Steel's going to win it with. I think we'll give him a tainted win. We like the tainted victory for Ace Steel. Can we go to 9 minutes? Right, let's just make it 10. If he's going to be like that one way or the other, what difference does it make? We'll have it 10 minutes long. Next, we're going to have the big angle of the night, and it's going to be Shawn Stasiak and Dave Batista. But we're also going to include Mark Henry in this one and Dan Severn. So, in fact, let's have this. Let's have a double angle here. I think what we'll do, which in TW9 you would treat with like different parts of the same angle, which I understand, but I just think just make two different angles, like it's fine. So basically, Shawn Stasiak. Actually, we'll make this quite long. So basically, Stasiak and Batista come out and apologize for their reactions on night one, then shake hands and agree to, and then shake hands. I'll go into some detail about what this is, but effectively, it's Dave Batista and Shawn Stasiak for the first time talking about the fact that Stasiak did what he did, and Stasiak's going to be apologetic for the actions he made towards Dan Severn. He's going to say to Dave Batista that he understands why Batista called him out on the last show, and is and he just wants everything to be put behind them. Then what's going to happen is that Shawn Stasiak, or basically this is going to be the kind of attack and save angle that is so frequently used. Basically, what's going to happen here is that after the angle, Stasiak walks away. Henry attack Batista. Stasiak joins in. So basically, Swerve turns Batista. Dan Severn make Dave. Make that 4 minutes. Bit more action packed here. And again, I'll go into more detail about that when we actually bring you the angle. And then the final is, of course, Charlie Haas versus CM Punk. And the winner. And we're going to go as long as we can for this one, I think. Open match, I think. Victor Charlie Haas is going to take the big victory here, pinfall victory as well. Um, I think we've just got to that point with him where I just feel like he is the best. He's the man. Um, Say he's the best. He is the man. Like he really impressed me with his performance against Dan Severn. Some of his other performances recently have been excellent. He's been one of the best wrestlers in the company. I just think it's right. We're at the right time now to give Charlie Haas a really big career enhancing victory and take advantage of that. So it's going to be Charlie Haas versus CM Punk in the main event, and the winner of that, of course, will be the Triangle Tournament winner. And that is 30 minutes, so I'm going to leave it there. It's a bit of a cliffhanger for you. I apologize for that, but I just feel like this is the right time. We've got the right length of episode. When we bring you our next episode, we will be bringing you the full show. You know what's going to happen now. We've planned it all out and booked it all for you. So it's not like there's a mystery here, but yeah, let's see how good this is. Let's see how good this is on the next episode. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next time.